Well, hello there, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Welcome to How to Maximize Your Spending workshop. And before I start, I just want to do a little introduction of who I am. For those of you that are just joining for the first time, my name is Dawn Delby, and I'm a certified financial advisor, as well as a behavioral financial advisor. Yes, a behavioral financial advisor. And I'm also the CEO of a wealth advisory firm called Releve Financial Group. And for the last 24 years, I've been helping clients one-on-one and then also being the CEO of this wealth advisory company where we help our clients with their financial plans, their investments, their tax planning, anything and everything related to the dollar. However, what has been missed so many times is the conversation around spending. We don't really address or want to talk about our spending because it's private and because it's also confusing. So today, I want to spend about 60 minutes with you to really get raw and to have some real conversation about spending so you can actually maximize your money. So today, this is a workshop. So I don't just want to speak at you. I want you to engage and I want you to get real value out of this conversation that we're having today. Because it's digital, what I want you to do is I want you to actually put in the chat where you're viewing in from, where you're listening in from. I want to learn who you are. And most importantly, I want you to feel comfortable asking me questions. And I'm not going to be able to answer those questions immediately, but I will be able to see them. And as we go, I'm going to answer your questions because I want this to be a real workshop where you're engaging in the information. And you're able to take notes. So I want you to have a pen and paper or a pencil and paper ready so you can write down some things that I'm going to educate you on. So I'm going to speak for about half of the time. So yes, I want to educate you on kind of my viewpoint after being in so many different client meetings about really what spending is like from my own personal perspective. And from my perspective of working with a lot of different clients, and that we can get real and understand how spending works. So, I'm getting in Anne from Ohio. We have multiple people joining in. I know there's going to be Megan from Las Vegas. Thank you for being here. And I want this to be time for you guys. So when you ask a question, I want you to either ask it for yourself or you could ask it for a friend, if you are afraid to ask it for yourself. But put any questions that you have in the chat as I go through the educational material at first. So first and foremost, as you can see behind me, my whole branding is Live Wealthy. And this spending workshop today is about helping you arrive at living wealthy, okay? And spending is the first step to that. So I just want to explain to you really what is living wealthy and what does that really mean? Well, first and foremost, living wealthy means that you're able to spend guilt-free today. That's what I want you to be able to do, is to live and feel like you can spend guilt-free today and live in freedom today, as well as secure your tomorrow. That's one of the many reasons or many, that the meaning behind Live Wealthy. It's being able to spend guilt-free today, as well as plan for your tomorrow. Living wealthy is also about understanding the technical advice that we need to have around money and also understanding the behavioral advice. I said earlier, I'm a behavioral financial advisor, which means really we all have thoughts and emotions around money, and we have this relationship with money that we have to understand, and how our relationship with ourself and our money might be getting in the way of us having true financial success. Also, living wealthy is really about building your internal worth, which is that internal personal security and that external financial security, which is your wealth. So this live wealthy, WELLTHY, is really about the yin and yang of life. It's about today, tomorrow. It's about wealth and worth. It's about behavioral advice and technical advice. And so today, when we are going through this spending, I first of all want you to answer this question for me. I want to know what you're really struggling with your spending. Or do you have any issues with your spending? Or what do you really want to get out of our time today so I can tailor the second half of this presentation to exactly what you want to learn from me about how your money works around your spending? Because the ultimate goal is for you to be able to maximize your money. Maximize your spending, because I believe that is about maximizing our life experiences here. And we really have to understand how our spending works, because at the end of the day, anything related to money and financial success, anything related, hear me out on this, anything related to being financially free and financially secure and being successful with your money, all comes down to how you spend your money. To give you the right advice around your cash flow, to give you the right advice around how much insurance protection planning you should have in your life, to give you advice on retirement and investments and taxes and estate planning. It all comes down to your spending and understanding your spending. And for most of us, whether you're earning nothing and you're just relying on your spouse or your partner for income, or whether you're making 7 figures of income a year, we all need to understand our spending. So put in the chat what you're struggling with, what you want to learn today, or any questions you have around spending, so I can get to that Q&A, those questions and answers at the second half of this workshop. So I just want to share a little story about my own personal spending, because I personally feel like I had, quote unquote, more money when I made $50,000 a year than what I have or had when I was making approximately 10 times that $50,000 income. Now, why would that be? Why would I feel like I had more money with less of an income? Well, because I had to understand and monitor my spending so much more at a lower income bracket than how I'm currently living today. Does that make sense? And so what we do as human beings is the more money we make, we tend to live and be more free with our spending and not even understanding it, because it gets so much more complicated. And if any of you out there are like me, you maybe hate to even look at your quote unquote spending plan. Like, I don't like to use the word budget, but we don't like to look at our spending. Why? Because it's time consuming. Why? Because it's boring. It's confusing. It's stressful. There's so many reasons why we don't take the time to understand our spending. And when we don't do that, like when we make more money and we have more flexibility and fluidity and freedom with our spending, then we stop looking at our spending, and that's when we get in trouble. And that actually happened to me, where I got in more trouble. I felt more broke with my money when I made 10 times the amount of income than I did when I made $50,000, because of all of those things I just mentioned. So we have to understand this money. And I'm telling you, the fact that you're even here today talking about maybe a boring topic that you think like, oh gosh, do I really want to go and listen to Dawn talk about spending? Yes, you do, because I can tell you this, and I can promise you this from my own personal experience, is that when you understand your spending and get in control of your spending, what happens is that you stop the fear of running out of money. Do you hear me? You actually stop fearing not having enough money. So we want you to understand your spending. And that is the first step of gaining control of your financial life. And you can see here on the screen, I have a financial assessment up. Okay, a financial assessment. So if you want to take a screenshot of this QR code, it's going to lead you to a financial assessment, because I want to tell you something is that I have created a platform, and the first step is filling out this financial assessment, because this platform is available to help you no matter where you are on your financial journey. You see, for 20 years, I helped millionaires become multimillionaires. I have the track record of doing that. But my heart and my soul is wanting to be able to help the non-millionaires become millionaires. So I've created this platform that can serve anyone and everyone, no matter where you are at on your financial journey. So some of you that are just starting out, this financial assessment is going to help me understand where you are at, so I can guide you to either free resources, or some of you might have millions of dollars and maybe need a second opinion with your investment portfolio or your tax plan. And when you fill out this financial assessment, it's going to tell me that you need a little bit different type of guidance, and then I can lead you down a different path. Because my ultimate goal is on this planet is to make financial advice accessible for all. And there's so many people out there that are so-called financial coaches or experts, and that don't have the credentials behind their name, or don't have a team of experts. You guys, I have 12 people behind me that are certified and fiduciary advisors that are actually helping people understand how to build real wealth. And it starts with your spending. Okay. So raise your hand right now if you love to spend money. Like, who out there, be honest, if you love to spend money? I love to spend money, and nobody should feel guilty about spending money. In fact, so many times we're told, like I'm told, like I like material stuff. I like experiences. Don't get me wrong. I love memories and experiences, but I also like materialistic stuff. Like I wish I could like turn my camera right now so you could see my home, and I'm looking at, plants, and I'm looking at a swinging bed and beautiful furniture and a big water feature and a fire pit. I love to spend money on house stuff and creating a really cool environment. Those are things. In fact, right before I came live today, my husband was in the studio, and I was like, dude, our artwork for our bedroom is coming today, and it's a big picture of an ocean. And I get so excited to spend money, and I bet you do too. We might spend a little different, but what we want to do is understand our spending and understand that it's okay to love to spend money. Okay. But what we need to do is, first of all, understand how much money we can spend. Okay. Step one is for you to write down your household gross income. The word gross, like, right? What is your household gross income? Like, gross means before taxes. So what is your household, between you and your spouse, or just you, how much money do you have coming in? What is your salary before you pay taxes? So what is that number? I want you to write that down. Excuse me, I just burped. And I'm seeing the questions here, but I'm gonna answer them as I continue to go. So I do see your questions. I will answer them. I promise you. But write down your household gross income, or go on your lovely calculator on your iPhone or whatever phone you might have. But I have a fancy calculator. But put in, what is your household before tax income? So easy math, I'm just going to say $100,000. And then what you want to do is take the minus sign, and then you want to do 25% sign. Okay. And that's going to give you a number. That's going to give you your after tax number. I use 25% for many reasons that I'm not going to go into today. But that is going to give you your annualized net income. And then you take that number, divide it by 12, and that's what you have to spend every single month. So if you have a salary of $100,000 minus 25% means you have $75,000 to spend every year. Divide that by 12, then that's $6,250 per month that you can have available to spend. The number one rule is you can never go above, never, let me repeat, you can never go above that threshold. Okay. So the first thing is understanding that threshold that we have money to spend. If you're making $1 million a year, that means you can't ever go above about $60,000 a month. Okay. But it's understanding that threshold is the first step in understanding your spending. Now, here's the most interesting thing I can tell you is that whether you have a spending issue or you think you have a spending issue, I'm going to tell you that most of the time, it's not necessarily just a spending issue. Is it a spending issue? So here's what I want to get at. Many times, I believe most of us don't have a spending issue. What we have is an income issue. Like we understand, so you just looked at your net threshold, whatever that number is for you. Like you might be like, dang, that's a low number. Like that's not where I really want to be. Yes, maybe you have an income issue and we need to solve for that versus just feeling like you're so stuck and strapped with your spending. Maybe you have an emotional issue, maybe something from your childhood or some pain that you haven't dealt with from your past. And so you're spending emotionally on things that maybe don't provide you value. Okay. Maybe some of you just have a knowledge issue. Like we didn't learn money in school, right? We didn't learn how to have a spending plan in school. So we just don't have the knowledge on how our money can work hard for us and how we can get in control of money. And many times, most of us have all three of these issues. Maybe there's an income. We need to gain more income. Maybe we need to work on that, why we're emotionally spending our money and maybe spending more than that threshold. Or maybe we need just more knowledge around our spending. Because I want to share this with you, that our brains are wired for us to be comfortable, not to be happy. And money spending freedom allows us to be happy. Money doesn't just provide happiness, but money is awesome in terms of solving problems, making our life easier, allowing us to have more experiences. And so money can provide us a better way of living. But we're wired, hear me out on this, we are wired to be comfortable, but we really want to be happy. So I'm going to encourage you today that what you need to do to be happy is to not stay comfortable. Not stay comfortable with your income. If you have an income issue, then you need to get uncomfortable and figure out how you can get better results for your company or yourself to get more income. If you have an emotional issue from the past, maybe you're like me where you were told that you shouldn't or couldn't spend money on X, Y, or Z, and it was wrong. And so when I started making more money, I was like, damn it, like I want to be in charge and I want to spend money. I want to have the freedom to make my own choices and do what I want to do. I needed to deal with an emotional pain from the past. I had to get uncomfortable and face that. We got to get uncomfortable with knowledge. Like, yes, I know you're sitting here on a Thursday listening to Dawn Delby talk about money, and it's uncomfortable to learn more about money and to gain the knowledge and having the time it takes to understand money so it can start working for you. So I'm going to encourage you, and I want you to write this down on your piece of paper, that I want you to get uncomfortable. Our brains are wired to be comfortable, but we want to be happy. And to get to the happiness, we have to get uncomfortable. Okay? So let's get down and dirty with the spending. Our biggest expense in life typically are our taxes. And today is not a workshop about tax planning, though I could go on and on and on about taxes. But I'm telling you that if you don't have a CPA, if you don't have a CPA, a certified public accountant in your life because you think you can't afford one, I'm here to tell you, you can't afford to not have a CPA in your life. You need someone who understands your biggest expense, which are taxes, and how to minimize your tax bill, okay? That is the most important thing you can do in your spending plan, is hire a CPA. I'm telling you, taxes. Over half of us believe we pay too much in taxes, and we do. In fact, most of us, and I'm going to tell you to plug your ears, but I don't want you to plug your ears because I want you to hear this, but most of us pay just shy of 40% of our gross income in taxes. We pay federal taxes. We pay FICA, which is employment taxes. We pay state income taxes. We pay sales tax. We pay property tax. The list goes on and on. You're paying almost 40% of your money in taxes. You cannot not afford to hire a CPA to help you with your taxes, okay? Huge, huge, huge. That's the first thing on any spending plan. And by the way, when you fill out that assessment, or you guys can text me at any time, my phone number is 612-682-1210. You can text me and say, hey, I need a CPA. Can you lead me to one? I have one in my investment firm. I have multiple resources to multiple CPAs that can actually help you minimize your taxes. Okay. So first and foremost, with a spending plan, I'm going to start high level and give you some tips. And then I'm going to go down to the nitty gritty. If you're still with me here about an hour in, we're going to get to the nitty gritty of like the how to really make all this work. So, I need you to stop wasting money. We waste so much money in life. And here are some of my rules or tips around how to stop wasting your money. First and foremost, if it's above your income threshold, that you already figured out what your income threshold is, you don't frickin' buy it, period. Never buy anything if you don't have the money to buy it, okay? Second one, it's okay, you guys. It's okay to split a meal when you go out to dinner and have only one cocktail. You can save a ton of money by doing that. Next, watch Amazon pricing. Who doesn't love, I love when I see a package at my front door. I have a glass front door and I love seeing Amazon out there. But be cognizant about what you're buying on Amazon. So many times you can go to Target or Walgreens or wherever you go and get it so much less expensive, okay? Next, no, the sale does not end today. Ha 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 ha. True. Everybody has things on sale and it doesn't end. It might end for a few days or a week, but the sale will always come back. Use credit card points where the conversions are the highest. So I pay off my credit card every month. I'm hoping you all do too. If you don't, come into the Live Wealthy platform, build your financial plan. We can help you make sure that you never have to put anything on credit and not be able to pay it off at the end of the month ever again. But remember, I love to use my American Express points for Crate and Barrel, like retail, because the conversion is better. Today, I logged into my American Express account and I saw that for 10,000 points, I could pay $60 towards my credit card, right? That conversion, 10,000 points to $60, or I could use 10,000 points for $100 to buy something that's a core value of mine, which is shopping at Crate and Barrel. Okay. Make sure that you're understanding the conversion of those points. And also sometimes you can even remove points and take them out of your credit card company and send them to another travel company, and the conversions are so much better. Just be aware of that. Okay. Stop paying for things that you're not using. Not using, stop paying. That doesn't make sense. Sorry about that. So stop paying for things that you don't use. Subscriptions. So many times we get caught and we thought we bought a thing and it was a one-time thing, and all of a sudden, ding dong, your doorbell rings and there's the next month subscription. You're like, what? I didn't order that. You guys understand, look at your spending plan at least once every quarter. That's once every 3 months. And look for those subscription payments that sneak up and you don't even realize you're paying for them. Okay. Next, home improvements. Houses are expensive. And I just want you to be aware that you make sure you get 3 different quotes. If someone's going to come in and repair something on your home or do some landscaping or do whatever, get 3 different quotes. I'm doing a landscaping project right now. And guess what? First person wanted to charge me $55,000. The next person, $19,000. I'm still waiting on quote number 3, but I guarantee you it's going to be less than $10,000. Okay. Huge. Make sure you get quotes. All right. Some other areas. I know there's a lot here, but there's so many that we waste our money on. Lease or buy a used car. Like, I can tell you, I have 4 drivers in my family, and every single one of us has bought a car now that has been used. How cool is that? Save a ton of money. Next one. Ooh, this is a big one. Giving your kids a lot of money actually hurts them. Okay? Some of you are watching this and laughing at me. I am a giver. And I know, but I also know that when we give our children too much, it actually enables them to be the successful human being that they can be. So be cognizant. I need to work with all of you on this. We need to stop giving our kids so much money. Next, allow your spouse to spend money too. I think very differently than my husband, and most times we marry opposite of ourselves. And then what happens is we have different spending goals and values, and you have to work together. If you're going to be in a marriage, you need to work together and allow each other to spend money in certain areas without the negative repercussions. All right. Don't get a tax refund. Never get a tax refund. You're just giving the government interest-free money for the year. You could have that money back to you every single month, and you could be utilizing that money. Watch investment fees. For those of you that have investments, I don't care if they're in your 401k, in an IRA, whatever. If you want us to do a second opinion on those, investment fees add up. And so many times people are paying triple the amount to their wealth advisor that they shouldn't be paying. Okay. Watch that. Next, review all lines of insurance. We need insurance. Life, disability, property, casualty, automobile, homeowners, it goes on, right? But when has the last time that you've reviewed your all lines of insurance to make sure that you couldn't get that same benefit somewhere else less expensive? Okay, that's a huge expense. And we need the insurance, but we don't need to necessarily spend a ton of money on there. So you need to do these competitive analysis around your insurance. If you need help with this, again, we're here to help you. And then finally, don't be taken advantage of. I think one of my biggest pet peeves in life is when people take advantage of me or my money, which leads me to one of the things that I forgot on this slide, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4th thing down. fourth tip down. Most people on the internet will not help you make money. Did you hear that? You guys, do not get caught up in all of the people trying to sell you online that cannot deliver. I cannot tell you the thousands of people that I've heard that pay $10,000 up to $100,000 on, I'm going to help you with your branding. I'm going to help you build your business. I'm going to help you do marketing. I'm going to help you do all these things. And it doesn't freaking work. Quit trusting people because they're taking advantage of you. That is a huge one. And then all of these programs that you get involved with, then they want you to travel and spend all this money on travel. Most people don't have the money to do all these things. And we get sucked into it because of FOMO or because of whatever. But be careful and don't let anyone take advantage of you. Okay. Let me take a quick moment here and look at some questions. Give me 1 second. Someone feels like their spending is out of control, and I think it's figured out, and I think I have figured it out, and poof, it's gone. Spending's out of control. So the reason why spending is out of control, it's never the money, it's always the behavior. And I hate to say that because I don't want anyone to feel bad, but the spending out of control is the behavior being out of control. And either, again, it's more income that we need to address the emotional spending. A lot of times we spend emotionally because we fear of not being enough, or we're trying to keep up with the neighbors and friends and family, or it's just a knowledge thing. But you are not alone, but it's really looking internally to find out what's going on. Having enough to spend and not feeling guilty. We're going to get to that in a minute, you guys, of how to not feel guilty with your spending. Wants information and strategies on early retirement and a plan for finances for my adult children, beneficiaries once I pass. Yes, Kimberly, fill out that financial assessment and we can do a one-on-one consultation with you to discuss strategies around retirement. You guys, in my financial firm, I mean, we have a platform and a financial planning service available for anyone who even has no assets and has only debt to people that have up to $30+ million. Okay. We have the team. I have the team behind me to help everyone with, where they want to go with life and making sure they're making really good decisions, because the spending, understanding your spending is the first good decision you can make. And it's the decision that is the catalyst to making good decisions and understanding that you're never going to run out of money. Okay. Would like to know the equation again. The equation again is your gross income minus 25%. And then somebody is buried in credit card debt and feel hopeless and ashamed. Well, first of all, I don't even want to point this person out, but I don't want you to feel hopeless. I don't want you to feel ashamed. Okay? There's situations in life that happen to us, and there's always a way out. There's always a way out of credit card debt and to remove the guilt and feeling hopeless. Okay? For whoever wrote that, I know who you are. I don't want to say your name here live, but I want you to fill out the financial assessment. I want you to text me and I will help you get through that, because the goal is to transform, for me to show you, not just from a behavioral perspective, but from a technical perspective, how to get out of that debt. Because yes, you can. And again, you need the technical knowledge, and you also need to understand the why it happened and how to change the behavior so it doesn't happen again. Okay? Love it. I love you for saying this. You guys, I want real, raw conversations here, because that's the only way you're able to improve on your financial life. Like if you're hiding the pain, if you're hiding the issue, if you're not opening up the hood, right, from a car perspective, if you're not opening up the wound, you can't heal it. In order to heal it, we need the behavioral and the knowledge, which is that technical advice. And when you mirror and merge the two together, that's when you're able to get out. So you're not alone. I'm here. I have a whole team here to help, and we can get you out of it. Okay? We can get you out of any situation you are in, and you need the technical advice. And then I need to show you how to remove the hopeless feeling and the guilt feeling. Okay? Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you for your questions. Okay, now we're in the second half. I'm going to get a little granular here, and I want for you guys to really, like, you understood like my top tips on how to, like, how you're wasting your money so you can maximize your spending a little bit more. But now we're going to get a little bit more along the how to do this, how to make it happen. So there are so many websites and apps out there that you can use that are at your fingertips for free or for a minimal cost that can really show you how to understand, like, how are you currently spending your money? So I list a handful of them here. You can see there's Rocket Money, there's Monarch Money, which is a really good one for spouses. There's a website out there called Empower and have an app. And I personally use American Express. I don't know. So again, I don't care which one you use. You can research all of this yourself, and you can, it doesn't matter which one you use. The point is that you have to use, we live in a world where AI can put together and can link our accounts all together in one hub, so we can, at our fingertips, within minutes, see how we're currently spending our money. It's so powerful, you guys. So just last month, I went onto my American Express website where I have my credit card, and I believe this is available to anybody who has an American Express card, and it's free. They have something on there that's called Spend Smart or Smart Spend, something like that. But what it allows you to do, it allowed me to, inside of the American Express app, and whether you use American Express, Rocket Money, Monarch Money, it doesn't matter. What these sites allow you to do is to link up your bank account. So your checking account where your paycheck is coming into and where some of your expenses are leaving from. It allows you to hook up your credit cards. American Express allowed me to hook up my, and it's a secured site, by the way, too. This is all secured for you to do. My Visa card, and it allowed me to hook up so I have a Visa card, an American Express card, and then my bank, my personal bank, my checking account. I link all that up. And like I said, within minutes, you can like start to see your spending. And what I love about these apps and these websites now is that you can put categories. You can put your spending in your own, you design your own category, okay? Or you can use their category. And then you can create subcategories for your spending and create rules. So what do I mean by this? Like every time you have an Amazon package and an Amazon bill, you see it one time on your credit card statement, you can create a rule that says every time an Amazon purchase, you can set it up under a category as shopping or an Amazon category or whatever subcategory you want. But you can create rules for your spending. So you don't have to categorize every single spending. It's like, ooh, I see Amazon. I know where that goes. Ooh, I see an automobile lease expense, and I'm going to automatically categorize that under X. Like you get it set up. You can go back for 3 months because our spending tends to repeat itself, even though it is different every month. but 80% of our spending repeats itself. And so what you can do is you can actually create these categories and these rules and see how you're spending. And let me show you how it worked for me, because I really want you guys, like, there's no reason why every single one of you on this workshop today should not be using these sites to understand and track your spending. So here's the categories. Let me remove myself here for a minute. Okay. The categories that I use under the American Express site. So it allowed me here's how I put them together. So 25%, or these are my real percentages, by the way, because I don't have anything to hide. And this is how I'm currently spending my money, or my husband and I are currently spending our money. So 24% of our money is on home. That includes our mortgage. That also includes homeowners insurance. I have utilities under there. I have, my HOA, homeowners association. That's how I did it. You can do it however you want, but 24% under home, 20% under financial. Okay. Investments, taxes, etc., travel and transportation. I'm not going to go through this. You can see how my spending, how American Express tracks my spending. Okay. And then what I can do in each category, so the home category, the financial, I can drill down and create these subcategories and see, oh, wow, this is interesting. This is how I'm spending my money. And I know some of you are looking at the fun and entertainment slide, or the fun and entertainment category here, and going, oh, Dawn, you don't have any fun, or you don't like entertainment, which is so bizarre because my whole life is about fun and entertainment. It's just categorized as that is like concerts and that kind of stuff. And I don't spend a lot of money going out to get entertained. I think I entertain myself, and that's free. I don't know. I might be boring, but I don't have to spend money on myself. Anyway, you guys, this is so powerful. The first thing is to understand your categories. Okay. And how you're spending money. But what's really cool is then taking these categories. I have 10 of them here. Some of you might have 15. Some of you might only have 7. But taking these and then putting them into a core value spending plan. For some of you that have been with me for quite some time, I preach over and over and over again, you need to know your core values. You need to understand your spouse's or partner's core values. Because when you build a spending plan in alignment with your core values, then what happens is that you can actually feel guilt-free. The hopelessness goes away. The lack of freedom goes away, and you can actually spend guilt-free when you understand your core values and understand the meaning behind your core values. So if somebody can put in the chat for me the website and how to access the core values. If you haven't done the core values exercise, I would highly, highly encourage you to do the core value exercise, and then understanding what those core values mean to you. And are you spending money in alignment with your core values? Some core values will not cost you any money. Some core values are going to cost you a lot of money. One of my core values is excitement, which means excitement for me. I love entertaining and bringing people into my house. And so all of the fun entertainment goes under my core values. My spouse values something completely different, values privacy and being creative. So I have to allow him to spend his money on, being creative. That means he's a musician, right? He likes to buy instruments and he likes to play, guitar and keyboard and all of the things. And I can't get upset with him if he wants to buy those things. If it's within our spending plan, it's within the threshold of our income. Okay. So understanding your core values is key. But what I really want you to do is then take these categories, whatever comes up on whatever website or app you are using, and then I want you to create your spending plan. If you want to maximize your money, you guys, and if you're still with me, this is the key. You create a spending plan that looks exactly like this. You take your monthly net income number that you already have, and then 10% of it should go to saving for your future, non-negotiable. 20% of that number should go to core value spending. 30% can be spent on debt, good debt, like real estate debt. And then 40% of your money on the rest of the household expenses it takes to run your household. Okay. And this, you guys, this spending plan works. It works for me at my level. It'll work for you at your level. And 10%, for me, I'm saving 20% instead of 10%. For me, my core values are actually 17% versus the 20%. My debt is about 26%, which I include my mortgage in there, and I include my car expenses, my the car payments that I have. And then my household is around like 36%. So this works. This works. But what you have to do is you have to take the categories that you're getting from your website, from these spending websites that I told you which ones to use, or you can Google and use whatever ones you want, and then put them into this spending plan. When you're able to spend 20% of your money today on your core values, the things that matter the most for you in your life, the things that your core values are the things you don't want to do life without. Like if you're able to spend freely on those things, then you're able to live free with your spending today. And then what you do is within these categories, you have your savings category, 10% savings, 20% core values, 30% debt, 40% household expenses. And then you take my spending tips that I brought to you 20 minutes ago, and you apply those to these individual categories, you get more out of your money. You get more out of your money. And I want to state this, that for those of you that want, before I take Q&A now, for those of you that want to get more out of your money, maybe you're like, okay, Dawn, I heard you today, but I have more questions, or I'm embarrassed to put a question up, and I'm going to get to these questions in here, the questions that you guys are submitting. So continue to submit questions, because we're going to spend the last 10 minutes or so. I'm going to answer every single one of your questions. But if you need more help, do the financial assessment. We can lead you to free resources. We can lead you to paid resources. We can help you become retired. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to make sure that they have enough money and that they will never run out of money so we can live our life. We are all trying to chase happiness. We're wired for comfort. And I know that material things don't provide long-term happiness. I know travel just become memories, and that doesn't give long-time happiness. And if I'm really true to my core, I truly believe that the only thing that provides us with 100% contentment and fulfillment is having a relationship with our Creator, because that's the only thing on this planet that can give us as much happiness as we can actually experience. But I also want to say that it's okay to love to spend money on things, experiences, and life. And what we need to do is to just get a little uncomfortable in our lives and maybe grow our income more. Or maybe understand how to heal the pain and understand how that pain from our past is creating our spending behaviors today. Or maybe you've dealt with your pain and maybe you have a great income, but you're just like, I just need more knowledge. I need to understand how money works and how I am wasting money and not even realizing how I'm being taken advantage of with my money. And it feels like it's never like I'm continued to feel stuck and that I can't get ahead. Okay. I can tell you this, that yes, you can. You can have freedom and security if you continue to follow my advice, because I'm a living, breathing example of it. I grew up with nothing. I grew up in a mobile home. I grew up in a town of 2,000 people. I'm not saying that's wrong, but I didn't have access. I found access. I found resources to be able to give me what I needed and wanted in my life too. And I am no different than any of you, and you can have it as well too. So let me read some more questions, and I'm reading them from my phone because that's how they are coming into me. Let's see here. Marjorie wants to spend wisely with freedom with kids. Yes, Marjorie, again, here's what I want to say about kids. We tend to want to give our children things that we didn't have. Do you guys agree with me? Like, we want to provide a better life for our children. And what happens is, because we feel like we didn't have growing up what we didn't have or perceived to not have, perceived could be a key word, then we want to have a whole different experience with our children. And we tend to overdo it, or we tend to not hold them accountable for them to be able to provide for themselves too. So I always think kids need to have skin in the game for them to really understand money. So we don't just want to give them money. We want them to be resourceful and not just giving them resources. Okay. How do I know what is a good thing to invest in? Real estate, stocks, etc. Yes, fantastic question. So diversification is the key. You should never, ever, ever, unless you have money to just lose. If you have money, so much money that you can just like have it to lose, then you can go ahead and be aggressive in one particular asset category. But if you don't have that, you need diversification. So every single person should have a combination of equities, which is the stock market, the bond market, which is called fixed income. You also need real estate. You can have real estate investments and brick and mortar real estate. I'm just getting into some of that myself. But realistically, just to answer your question, as a starting point, how we do it in our investment firm is we take the number 110. So 110 minus your age, and that's how much equity or stock you should have in your portfolio, because stock is aggressive. But that's how much stock you should have in your portfolio, and just ride the wave with your stock and not worry about that, because stocks on average are going to give you over a long period of time. Historically, obviously, I can't ever use the guarantee, but historically, stocks have consistently performed 7, 8, 9% every single year. Some of those, that's on average. Some of those years are -30, some of them are +30. But on average, you should have that much stock. If you're aggressive, you can have more stock, but that's how you start to build your portfolio around how much stock or equity you should have, and then build your real estate and your fixed income around that. Hi, Wendy says hi from Boca Raton, Florida. She saw me at Own Your Worth. You guys, Lauren Lahav puts on an incredible event called Own Your Worth in Las Vegas every March. And it's about women coming together and supporting women. I love my little Lauren, and Wendy, hello back from you. And thank you for saying hi. Kathy wants to know if they will be able to watch again later. Yes, you will be able to watch this. We will have a replay. I will have my team reach out to you. Kathy, if you're not on our email list, go to the website Dawn Dalby, so DAWNDAHLBY.com. Sign up for our newsletters, and we will know that that you were here and that there'll be a replay. Okay. Okay. Since I saw you, I did an event at Ruby Ribbon, and I've been telling my husband about you and your plan. He said, let's do it. We're going to take the assessment together this weekend. Yes. Okay. So take the assessment, talk about the assessment. It's pretty basic. It's not going to take you very long. If you can convince your husband, like get him a glass of wine or a cocktail or a non-alcoholic soda, whatever it takes, and have him do the core value exercise. Like I had to wring my husband's neck for him to do the core value exercise. But when you do that, you really understand what your spouse values, and then you come up with a plan for both of you, right? So it's super fun to do. So the core value exercise was pinned at the top of the chat. And you guys, a couple more questions. We have still 5 more minutes. If you have questions, I want you to ask. And I don't want you to feel like you can't ask and get the real answer. Would you advise one to work out of the debt or hit the reset button with filing bankruptcy? Great question. It depends. A lot of times the debt is too significant that we have to file bankruptcy. And actually bankruptcy it's a scary word, but it's really not all that bad. It can hurt your credit for 3 to 5 years, but it's not the end of the world. Sometimes the debt is so big that you just have to say, you have to call uncle, right? You yell uncle and be like, I screwed up. I need to file bankruptcy. I need to figure this out. And I personally don't believe that you need to hold some negative emotion to that. So if your debt is so significant where you're like, I could not even pay this off in less than 10 years, then maybe that's the case. For the person that wrote that, if you want to text me at 612-682-1210 and put on there, details about bankruptcy, I can share with you the information I have around bankruptcy to get you going on the right foot. Sometimes it just makes sense. And by the way, at a side note to that, I've met a handful of women this year that actually haven't paid their taxes for quite some time. And I'm not going to get into the why, because the why doesn't really matter. But sometimes you just have to call uncle too and create with the IRS a payment plan. Like I can't pay all of this tax and I screwed up and you admit to it, but I can pay this and I want to get right with the IRS and I want to get on the right type of plan. So that's another thing. We feel like taxes and credit cards become so overwhelming that we feel like we can't ever get out of it. And there is a plan for you. Okay. So don't ever not look at the opportunities to just have that. It's better to it's better to be uncomfortable for 3 or 5 years and to work yourself out and maybe file bankruptcy and just be like, okay, I screwed up, but I'm owning it. And then I need to move on. It's better to do that than for the rest of your freaking life to like be in a situation where you can't live the life you just designed to live. Like that's not fair. Okay. Tamberly said, I helped them get out of debt. I'm so grateful for you and your team. Tamberly, you're a beautiful human being yourself. And you guys, we help people with everything. We all have this birthright to live in freedom. And we need money to do that. And sometimes it's a little solve. And in our head, our brain tells us these lies that it's bigger and we'll never have it. And we can't ever get ahead and we're stuck. And we live in this emotional anxiety and depression and all these things. I know I suffer with it too. You guys, I'm no different than anyone else. But the thing is, you can move forward. So reach out to me. I'm going to put the assessment back up here. Once again, reach out to me, reach out to our team. We're here to serve. We're here to help. And the only thing that will get in the way of you getting true financial success is your own self. So don't let yourself get in the way, and let us serve you. Thank you for being here today. And again, you can text me and my team 612-682-1210. Thank you for joining with me today.